Hey guys, welcome to Android series. We are going to start Android course in Kotlin. Kotlin is a new programming language for the specific for the mobile related applications. Java is the old right now everyone using the Kotlin. The demand is very high about the Kotlin by developing the applications also. Okay, so today we'll discuss about what is exactly Android, how Android architecture look like. Nowadays everyone using the smartphones, right? But the smartphone how architecture is designed, it is a Linux based operating system. If you go and type in the Google, you will get lot of definitions. Okay, we'll make it as much as we'll keep it very simple, then we'll try to understand the architecture, then you will get to know exactly what is Android, how architecture is designed. Okay, let me quickly start. Just I'm reading the definition. Android is a platform and open source Linux based operating system. When I say platform, why previously it is not a platform, it is specific to the mobile devices. Now Android is using everywhere, like IoT they are using, and mobile devices, tablets, and phoneware, TVs, everywhere they are using. That is why Android is a platform, and it should require some operating system, right? In order to work with your in your suppose if you want to work in a computer, like suppose operating system is required, right? Like Android is also required when a computer, like sorry, one operating system is required. What are the things? One line is Linux kernel, that is an operating that is related to OS, and a middle tier and a system apps and user apps. To understand these things, first you need to understand the architecture, then we'll come to picture here what is Android. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now I will go for my architecture. Okay, initially suppose if you buy any computer, if you want to operate with the system, what you need? Hardware plus software, both it is required, then only you can say it is a platform. Okay, now assume that your mobile device is a hardware. In that mobile device you have an operating system. Okay, assume that you have a operating system. If I say operating system, which type of operating system? Can I say Linux operating system? Just think about it. Actually, this Android every is designed only for the Linux based operating system. It is not like a complete Linux operating system. Just think about it. If you want to install a Linux in your computer, at least you need 4 GB, 5 GB of space, and you need the file will be a 2 GB. If you want to deploy around, it will take 5 to 6 GB memory, right? RAM it will take. So your system should be high configuration in order to run your virtual devices also. Am I right? But sometimes right now Android phones around 2 GB, 3 GB file will like type of OS is also there. Like Android smartphones we have, right? Even the space will be like 2 GB supported the mobile phones. Like if you install all the applications also, still you can able to see 500 space, 600 space will be there to store. Then how the operating system can fit into your mobile phone? Anytime you think about that. Okay, let me clear that point. Basically, Linux is an operating system. It is inheriting the features. In every operating system we have a kernel. Some piece of information is inherited for the Android. That is why inside Android we have a Linux kernel, that is called Linux kernel is a operating system. That is why every time if you go and check the definition, Android is a Linux based operating system. No one can say Android is a Linux operating system. That is very lot of difference is there. Okay, I hope you are clear. That's why in my definition also I given as a Android is a platform and it is a Linux based operating system. Then which operating system? When I say Linux kernel. I hope you guys are clear. When I say operating system, it needs to take care of the memory management and which type of the resources. If you are doing a multitasking, right? I am explaining. I can see some other things. I can open the Word document. You can multi-action. You can perform in the same way in the mobile also. You can operate many things at a time. You can listen the music and you can open other app. You can chat, you can tweet any post like that, you can do, right? That is called multitasking. Who will do that is called a resource management in operating system. Not only in the mobile phone, in the computer also you need to do in this way. Okay, and we have a Wi-Fi drivers. Okay, so if you take the mobile Android, you are taking about the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Some drivers are required, right, for your operating system. Then how your hardware should support, like, so for drivers is required. Even your computer also, how the power it is connected, disconnected, percentage is this much, and like it's related to power management. If you connect any drivers, any keyboard or mouse, these are the external things, right? How it is supporting your operating system, it needs some drivers, right? So those type of all related things, it will be there in your Linux kernel. I hope you guys are clear what is an operating system, how, why we need to call Linux is a Linux kernel operating system. I hope you guys are clear about this part. This is related to the down layer, bottom layer. Okay, there is no interaction with the user about this layer. Okay, next. Next, we have a one more on top of operating system. We have an Android runtime. Here, two types will be there. One for core libraries, one for the Dalvik virtual machine. Okay, one for, suppose if you want to develop any mobile application, okay, you need some libraries are required. Anything, if you take any operating system also, in order to develop it needs C++ libraries, and they design some different programming like that. Even if you want to develop any mobile application, you need a Android runtime environment. That environment, we have two things. We have one, core libraries. Okay, basically this core library is nothing but either Java, either Kotlin. Basically Kotlin internally using the Java also, both are interoperable. That is the core libraries. And we have a Dalvik virtual machine. What is Dalvik virtual machine? Okay, everyone guys may aware about JVM, that is called Java virtual machine. I hope everyone know. If you want to compile a program, if you want to execute your program, you need JVM. Basically, what is the difference between the JVM and Dalvik virtual machine? Means JVM is specifically designed for computers. It is a platform independent. Platform dependent JVM is. That means if you run in your Mac, they have one JVM. The Linux one JVM. This JVM will consume more memory, more power, more RAM is required, right? If suppose you have a .java class, a .java source code you have, if you compile, to whom you will give to JDK. What it will do, JDK, by using Java C compiler, you will get a .class file. Up to now, you guys may clear this one. After you are getting .class file, to whom you will give this .class file, give to the JVM, right? What JVM? It will convert to the machine understandable code like ones and zeros. I hope you guys are clear about this part. Am I right? Now, if it is JVM, then why DVM come to the picture? Okay, DVM is Dalvik Virtual Machine, mainly designed for the Android application. It will consume less memory, low power management, and low RAM. That is why they introduced it for the DVM. Even this DVM, what it will do, it will generate one .dex file. This is one, at last all your classes and files, everything will convert to .dex file. Before installing an APK also, here at the runtime you will get this the file. each and every class, all it will be combined, it will convert to .dex file. This is called the Dalvik virtual machine. Okay, after the few versions, they replaced with the new version is Android runtime. This is the on top of Dalvik virtual machine, they introduced this Android runtime. I hope you guys are clear this part. And we have native libraries. What are the native libraries we have? Okay, we have a OpenGL and SQLite. See, I'm showing the limited applications wise. Okay, limited libraries I'm displaying. I'm not displaying the whole lot of things we have. The main what are the required to understand the architecture I am explaining. I hope you guys are clear about this point. What are the native libraries? Native libraries means if you design an operating system, if you want to interact with the hardware, you need a native programming. What native program? C and C++. But Java directly cannot communicate with the hardware. Alright. So what it will do? It will use this Android runtime, it will use native libraries in order to communicate with the hardware. In order to communicate with the operating system, it will use these libraries. In native libraries, what all the things we have? OpenGLS. If you want to design any the graphics, rich graphics, some graphics you want to design the application, it will use OpenGLS library. And if you want to store some data in your phone, we have an inbuilt database is SQLite. It is by default in every Android phone, it will be there. It is only specific to that device. Okay, if you want to communicate with the hardware through operating system, the Java will use the native libraries. That is why even Java is designed on the support of C and C++. Not only these two, we have still SSL, Web Toolkit, lot of libraries we have. Okay, and for to support internet security also, that library is also available, that is SSL in the native libraries. I hope you guys are clear. Next, this is the second layer, and we have an application framework. Why this application framework exactly means, the Android they designed for the specific for the developers. I have a ready-made code is available. Use those codes, and by using that code you can connect with your phone, you can develop your applications. Which ready-made code is available? Few things I am displaying. One for the Wi-Fi manager, telephony, view system, Bluetooth. Like if you open your phone, if you want in the Bluetooth in your application, if you want to design, you can use the Bluetooth manager. If you want to check your internet connection, what are the available Wi-Fi, you can use the Wi-Fi. If you want to fetch your phone information, phone ready state, that means SIM serial number, IEMEI number, and everything, each and your internet connection is enabled or not, those all things will come about the telephone manager. And view system, the view system is a parent class. It is component, it is a group of the UI components. So we have layout file, relative file, buttons, text view, everything will be part of the view system. They are providing a framework for the developers to design your application. Okay, whatever you need, just you design the application by using this framework. On top of that, what it will do, this is the top layer. Not only that, this is second layer. This application framework will use the Android runtime. Android runtime will use native libraries, and native libraries will use an operating system. The flow will come into this lecture. Okay, and we have one more, system applications. Like if you buy a Android mobile phone, you have a by default system apps, right? Like contacts, Google Maps, locations, and settings, call logs. These are all system applications. When they design a mobile phone, some inbuilt apps are they design. Okay, and on top of the system apps, if you want to design your own applications, then you can design with our user applications. That means if you want to print some welcome to Java Express channel, welcome to Android series, just you want to display a simple message on the screen. Okay, I can show you the hello world in that directly, but you want to understand the background, why we are using, exactly how they design. Okay, user applications, then in which programming language you can develop. See, you can develop Android application by using C++, Java, Kotlin, .NET. By all these programming languages you can develop, but we have some drawbacks. Okay, basically they designed for the Java and Kotlin. If you want to work, we need an SDK, software development kit. Okay, we recommended to use Kotlin now. Previously till now we are using the Java. Nowadays everyone is converting, migrating is happening from the Java to the Kotlin. Kotlin is a new programming language. It is specifically designed for the cross platform. Okay, this is very as performance wise it's very easy, and the way of writing the code is also very less number of lines you are writing. If you print an hello world, you need to write around 8 lines, but in the Kotlin you can write within 3 4 lines you can write. Okay, there is no concept of the null pointer exception. Only in the Java you will get, but in the Kotlin is very easy. Okay, the whole Android series will go for the Kotlin. Okay, the SDK will. If you want to develop C and C++ native libraries, you need a NDK, native development kit. Right now they are not giving an option to develop with NDK, but still you can develop by using .NET, but it is have specific framework, not in the end. It is a mono Android. Okay, this is, so we have a lot of drawbacks inside that .NET. Right now they are not supporting. With our official Android Studio only supporting Java and the Kotlin. I hope you guys are clear about Android architecture now. Okay, you can relate your definition. Android is a platform and it is a Linux kernel operating system. It consists of what all the things? Operating system. This is your operating system. Okay, and middle tier. When I say middle tier, these two things will come to the picture: application framework and a native libraries and Android runtime. And it consists of one more for the user applications and system applications. Means this is you can visible to the user. Visible can user can see those apps. Only you are doing, this is the part one. These two we can call as a 2, and this part is called a 3. Okay, I hope you guys are clear what is an Android, how our Android architecture is look like. We'll see few more things in the next session. Thank you guys.